Hello. Hello again, whoever that is who dropped me a like. Thank you. Hey Flex, what's up? It's a bit hard to just be talking to myself for hours, so that's kind of why I'm quiet. But hopefully anyone who drops in, if they just want to, request something, then I'll do it. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, I hope you're having a good day too. Certainly looks like a pretty bad day for the semiconductors. AMD, Nvidia, both down very badly. Sure. Let's have a look at Alto. Start on the higher time frames as always. Draw in some levels of support and resistance. Horizontal lines. We'll start on the weekly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 significant levels of support there on the weekly. Let's go down to the daily. Yeah, I like the fact that the midline, well, it's the 50 SMA, should be the same. Yeah, it's the same as the Bollinger Band midline. So the midline is sloping upwards. That's pretty nice. Yeah, Intel's monthly chart is really scary. If you are watching, I'll just show you that quickly. Like, check this out on the monthly, right? So, just turn this off. Right, so check out this squeeze indicator. So you've got ADX flashing, so super low volatility coming in, or I mean like super low volatility right now, but big volatility coming in, and that's been coming for 1, 2, 3, 3 or 4 months now, like a whole quarter pretty much. And then you've got these mega squeeze circles coming in, so the Keltner channels are crushing it, and yeah, Vortex is negative, and I mean the thing is that this hasn't even started to fire off yet. It's still squeezing, but over the next like 1, 2, 3, well, months technically, but you'll see it on the lower time frames. Um, there could be something really nasty in store for Intel here. Like this pretty much needs to get back above 48.52 in the next 18 days. Otherwise, there's really no doubt about it that it's going to get absolutely annihilated. Kind of like AMD. Well, I mean AMD's just having a terrible day, isn't it? If I can find it. AMD. So yeah, big gap down there. Many days with no green in it there, and a big strong candle with no wicks on it pointing downwards. So pretty nasty. I mean, maybe it's like goes up and touches resistance again, but like the downtrend on that is pretty vicious. It's just interesting that the downtrend on Intel hasn't really been that strong. I mean, it was up at 70, I guess, well, a year ago. It's a fairly slow moving stock, like it pretty much just ranges a lot of the time. Yeah, Keltner. Oh yeah, okay, sorry, I didn't see what you said. What indicator was that with the blue bars and the white red dots? That's on where was I looking on that? Intel. It's called Squeeze Pro something. I think if you look it up, just type in like Squeeze Pro 2, something like that. And yeah, what it's showing you is that the Keltner channels are sitting inside of the Bollinger Bands. So you're having like in addition to a Bollinger Squeeze, you're also having a Keltner Squeeze. So that's like two different kinds of like price or volatility compression all happening at once. And yeah, when it starts firing off, like it can get really vicious. And like generally, you just say, well, you use the what do you call it? This like momentum indicator. It's a little bit like the MACD, and you say, well, is it firing off, you know, bullishly like this in blue, or is it firing off bearishly like it is here in purple? So this is firing. It's not confirmed yet, but like it could fire off to the downside, and like having such a massive time frame like the monthly just blasting against you like that is just a really bad sign. And in fact, it's never done that in the entire history of the stock. You'll see like a couple of white light mini squeezes going on, but this is the first time you ever seen there's months and months and months of heavy squeezing going on the monthly. VW MACD, volume weighted MACD. I've heard of that. Somebody else mentioned that. Can't remember who it was who mentioned it. It's interesting. I don't know much about it. I have PPO here. It's like a Laguerre averaged out PPO, which is very similar to MACD. Does Bollinger mention VW MACD in his book? That's really surprising. I did not know that. Apparently, Bed Bath is about to get wrecked. Bed Bath and Beyond. Yeah. Money Flow Index, man. Yeah, I know about MFI. I like it. Um, I don't use it as often as I should, honestly, but um, I do have it on a template here somewhere. Yes. Oh, yes. Let's check out Bed Bath and Beyond. Somebody just messaged me to say that was looking really bad, and yeah, I 100% agree on that. This is pretty interesting. Like your regression trend there is moving strongly against you. Um, the bear's completely in control on the 4 hour like this. Um, you got the 200 underneath you, but it's not like a really positive slope. It's more like a parabola like that. And yeah, I mean, I had some, but I sold it all already. Although I left it too long, I left a bunch of money on the table. Tenkan Kijun Cross is above the cloud. Hey, we got a Ichimoku user. Love it. That's awesome, Flex. It's so nice to hear people using Ichi. Um, so yeah, Tenkan Kijun above the cloud. What time frame is that, Flex? Uh, Tenkan Kijun Cross above the cloud. I guess you're thinking of the 4 hour maybe there. Hey, did I teach you Ichi? That's great, Flex. That's awesome. Well, I read plenty of books about it. Um, yeah. So that would be the 4 hour there. So yeah, you did have a death cross there. Yeah. I mean, these death crosses are like to be taken with a pinch of salt when they're above the cloud like that. Like if they're above the cloud, then it's actually a weak sell signal. So just like if you had a golden cross below the cloud, it would be a weak buy signal. So the stronger version would be a golden cross above the clouds because it's so incredibly bullish that like it's not even going down. But yeah, so Tenkan kind of pointing down, Kijin kind of pointing down. I agree with you on the Chico span. I think this is really significant here, right? Like look at that. Look at the Chico span cutting through the cloud there. That's quite poor. And then I was showing this to someone the other day, like on the daily here. I think I was showing it to Investor Gadget. Like I was saying, Bed Bath needs to get back above 21 immediately, basically, because being under the cloud like this, you had the chance on Friday there pretty much, but I'm gonna say it needed because it hasn't done it, frankly, now. Now that it hasn't, held these areas and you're under the cloud like this, you're really looking for support lower down again, probably like 1855, for example. Just put a line on that. You know, yeah, lots of dojis around, and that big plateau off of the Kumo there at 1857. I mean, to be fair, I guess you have actually touched that already and bounced off it, and you are green on the day. Um, but you still got this big gap underneath you, haven't you? Like, look at this huge gap all the way down to 1630 there. So obviously it's good that it is kind of defending that gap and holding it, but it would take quite a violent move from here to really change the overall look of this at the moment. It just doesn't look very bullish to me. And honestly, a lot of stuff doesn't look bullish to me. A lot of stuff looks really just tired. So much stuff just looks like it wants to roll over. Yeah, yeah. The Bulls are trying to defend that gap. Um, but just looking at so many charts, like they all have, or many of them have a very similar look about them, which is just there's just no momentum behind. You do get these little, these little boosts, these little buying frenzies from the bulls, um, but the overall market momentum is just so poor and so slow. There's very little um, energy behind them. So, but yeah, Alto. I know you wanted to look at that. So Alto, you know, in a downtrend, um, looking for support at 626 probably there at the Kijun Sen. Here we go. It's in a downtrend right now, but I can see that it's done quite well. This is probably another pharmaceutical stock or something, isn't it? Oh no, that's cool. Alcohols and ethanol. What an unusual ticker. Yeah, I mean it's in an uptrend. It's in an uptrend on the higher time frames there, which is pretty good. But what's this on the weekly here? So you definitely want to stay above. If you could stay above 637, you'd end up on top of weekly cloud support, which would be very, very good. Um, it's quite a choppy, distorted chart though. It's had these massive runs previously. Um, but this is like quite rangy. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Does it hold here or does it go a bit lower? Maybe like 585, something like that. Yeah, I wonder what Fibs have to say on it. Huh, 382. Yeah, that's interesting. Hey, Corey. Yeah, Flex. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, there's just so many indicators out there, and yeah, you should definitely read that book by John Hayden. I think it's posted on Rocky's Discord. It's all about the RSI, and it's a really really good indicator. I mean, a really good textbook. Um, of the squeeze indicator, I think it's just called Squeeze Pro 2 or something. It's called JS Squeeze Pro 2. I'm really curious, like why semiconductors are having such a tough time of it. Semis look so bad. It's unreal. It really is. I mean, if this thing on Intel ends up playing out, and this is very significant. You see this BBW thing here, just showing you basically when you get a cross here, it means that the bands are expanding, and when the bands are expanding, the prices, make a big move. And it's having potentially a band cross on the monthly again there as well. So there is some kind of, you know, really big trend change coming for Intel. And it's already had a big run up, so is it a big run down this time? Whereas, gold just seems to be unstoppable pretty much. And Bitcoin getting wrecked. Ugh. Do 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 do. I don't know. At this point, I'm starting to think like there's some kind of major depression happening, really. Yeah, I don't really like crypto that much myself, honestly. Like if I traded anything in crypto, it would probably only be Bitcoin. I don't get why people are so keen on trading poo coins in this kind of environment. So where companies that are real companies with tangible assets that have been around for 100 years are getting smashed. Like, why would you want to go heavy on coins that are just like they're not backed by anything at all? These companies I mean, those coins could literally go to zero. Like, if Intel ever goes to nearly zero, like people would be buying it because it's insanely cheap. But yeah, plenty of coins and stuff that would just go to zero and they would never come back. Man, Twitter not having a good day. Still kind of holding in there though. Oh, thank you. Yeah, those those books were so helpful. I still have so much to learn. I really do. But like those books, like especially the ones on Ichimoku and stuff, it's like I don't know. Maybe we never become amazing traders, but like you will you will certainly be less likely to get completely wrecked having read those books than not having read those books. Like, if you're going to get wrecked, you may as well only get wrecked a little bit rather than completely wrecked. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Karen Pelui or something. Yeah, that I think that's honestly I have to be honest, it's one of the less readable ones. It's quite heavy and I don't really like the sort of dense way that she explains stuff, but it is undeniably one of the better ones, if not perhaps even the best one, if you can stomach it. Um, there's another one, Trading Cloud Charts or something by David. I think his name is David Upton. That was extremely good. I really liked that one. Um, AD Excellence was cool actually. I didn't read all of it, but I read a lot of it, and I thought it was a pretty decent. I thought it was a good book. Like, if you're gonna read one book about the DMI, it might as well be that one. Man, normally I get like at least a couple of viewers. I don't know why I only have. It's just you and me today, unfortunately, Flex. Oh, was it? AD Excellence was born out of a training group forum. Yeah, the guy who wrote the book has his own website and a forum. I did look at that. Man, I'm looking for some deals, something to go along on, but like everything kind of looks like garbage, honestly. I got a PDF of it. I can share it with you if you want. It's on my. I've got a copy on my Google Drive. The hard copy is just it's unobtainium. You can't get it. If you can, it's like hundreds of dollars on eBay or something. It's stupid, and it's a good book, but I don't know if I'd pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars for it. Oh, nice. Yeah, I probably did. I probably shared the PDF already. Nice, nice. Yeah, I don't really like reading on these little phone screens and stuff. I would much rather have had a hard copy like that. Yeah, you're really lucky with that. Doo-doo-doo. Some crazy stuff going on these markets. Check out DocuSign here. Like, I don't even know what to make of this stuff. Like, yeah, it's a proper textbook. Like, Death Cross, weird doji, but then you're on support. It's weird. There's lots of charts like this that are just like indecisive, and it's very hard to say which way anything is going. Yeah, that was awesome. Like if he could have done it in Comic Sans, I think the whole textbook would have been just that little bit better. Yeah. Seriously worrying times for semiconductors there. That looks so bad. Doesn't that look bad? That looks really bad. Like AMD just obliterating cloud support on the weekly like this. And you had a negative vortex cross. Yeah, it would. Yeah, proper chef's kiss stuff that. Man, AMD's gonna get wrecked. Even AMC doesn't look as bad as AMD. And AMC is like doesn't do anything useful. At least AMD makes chips and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, AMD has been rough for quite a long time now. I mean, you zoom out on it and like realistically, this has been in a downtrend since I mean, there wasn't really any good reason to be in it since November of last year. Like so many things, so many charts um went sour around November last year, just like GameStop. Um, Even AMC did this exactly the same thing. Check out AMC on the weekly and look at where that went south. November, November, November 15th in particular. Something between November 15th and November 22nd. Absolutely wrecked. And none of this stuff has recovered since then. It hasn't. Everything has been in a downtrend. I mean, AMC right now is like breaking through the golden pocket, so this is probably going to be pretty bad for it. Yeah, nice. Nice. Yeah, I pulled. I had some money in AMC. I had to pull it out in November. I'm very, very glad I did that. The chances of AMC like really having a long, strong, long-term recovery, um, it's just not good. It's just not good. Like I've watched it for months, and like if whenever AMC has the choice between going lower and going higher, it goes lower. It does. AMC sounds like BB. Yeah. Oh man, BlackBerry had one of the worst charts I'd ever seen. Even for a meme stonk, it had a really nasty chart. Nasty chart. Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's not the like I mean like they do have like some interesting patents on stuff like that. Um but that company as a whole, it just something has gone bad in BlackBerry to look like this. It really has. I think it's just being pushed around by some big institutions or something. I don't know how else to explain these random huge runs that it keeps having, these big spikes up. Um, and the longer it spends doing this kind of thing, and this is true of all stocks, and especially with Ichimoku, like when you see this kind of, negativity that just builds up over months and months and months like this. Like that's a year. That's over a year of negativity it's taken to create this horrible cloud above you. Like I wouldn't count on it. I wouldn't count on it reversing anytime soon. Real shame. I might have to short Intel myself at some point if it carries on looking like this. But I mean, look at the SPY for example. The SPY is getting absolutely hammered, and I mean, everything comes back to the SPY, really. Everything that like most retail people look at, retail investors look at, ultimately comes back to the SPY. And um, SPY breaking the Tenkan Sen on the monthly like this at 445. If you don't close above 445 in the next 18 days, are you noticing like a pattern, like a theme emerging here? There's a lot of if it doesn't get above X by Y, it's screwed, right? And that is the story of so many companies and so many charts right now. And the SPY is really emblematic of that. It really represents that, like, because obviously it's got so many American companies in it, and like this whole like the last 3 months here. I mean, does that look super healthy? Like number one, it's miles away from its own support there, miles away from the Kijun-sen. Yeah, exactly. That's what I think. I think the SPY is going to 350. But you think about it, and that's like, man, that's like another COVID 2020 scenario playing out. That would be a pretty nasty ride to be on. That's a huge drop. 22% down. Well, I mean, Ichimoku says all good. Like, I mean, expresses, um, Ichi can express trends being extended and overstretched in in its own ways as well. Like, yeah, okay, so in the most kind of vanilla, itchy way, like, yes, okay, you're above the 200. Yes, you're above the cloud. Yes, you're above the Kijun-sen and the midline of the Bollinger Bands, right? But like, look at the distance that price action is away from healthy long-term support, right? Like, and yes, admittedly, it has been known to spend long periods of time away from support like this, but this is quite extreme. You just look, I mean, look at how thin this cloud is as well. So the averages that constitute the cloud are coming closer together. So the sentiment behind this uptrend is actually like thinner and weaker than people might even think. Yeah, exactly. That's what it's saying. If you're miles away from these averages, you should be like probably sitting on the sidelines because or unless it is you want to go short on it because yeah, frankly, you'd probably be better off going short than long there because you're so far away from any meaningful support because that's the truth of it. Like if you break that Tenkan Sen, I even put a line on it. Just put a line on it, and then you can see what it looks like on the lower time frames, like this. So 442. Well, you're already below, but let's say you close the month in a few weeks below 442. Well, where is there for you to even go? Where would you even go after that? Like at that point, you might as well just say, "Oh, to hell with it. Let's just crash the market and and start fresh." That Bollinger hit closed above the band and closed below Bollinger. There haven't seen a line. I mean, yes, the price action did like did do a Bolly walk, about a band walk above the Bollinger Bands like that for a long time. Yeah, it did do that, and then obviously the trend has weakened and it's fallen. It's fallen inside there. Yeah, exactly. And like, imagine you even just treaded water like this for months on end, right? Like, there's just nothing good in front of you. If you tread water and you go sideways for months, you're going to end up colliding into your price action, and that creates its own problems. That creates congestion. If price goes down from here, let's say price goes down the same amount, so to about there, that would actually end up being more bullish, right? Because look, the Chico span would end up finding support on the candles on the price action, and then it could clamber up, then it could walk up its own its own price action, and it would be okay. That wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. So it would just be a lot easier to be bullish on the SPY at 350 than it would be at 450. Yeah, good old moon phases. Moon, nice. Let's have a look. Moon phase has been pretty good to SPY. Yeah, low, high, low, yeah, break even, low, high, low, high, and yeah, we're probably in for another low. If you go by the moon phases, like you're probably going lower. That's what moon phases is saying. Yeah. So it's every 14 days, isn't it? So just calculate that. It's like, yeah, that's 14 days. So 28 days would put us on the 14th of April there. So where would that be? Yeah, 14th of April, like that. It's one of those things that I don't check that often, but like I may have to because It's especially if you give it like a little bit of breathing room and you just say, well, this is like a zone. This is just an area where, price could catch a trend or not catch a trend. Yeah. I don't know, it started out as kind of a meme, but like I may just have to just leave that on my indicators and check it regularly. Um, but man, like if SPY ends up down at like 427 again in the next well, I don't know, I guess it's not that long. How long would that be? Like a couple of days? If there's a crash or something, well, the moon indicator told you. But yeah, SPY looks pretty weak, doesn't it? And the SPY look bad. Falling through the midline of the Bollinger Band there on the weekly. Daily, you're just about holding on to it, but yeah, you're probably looking at 438 or even the bottom of the cloud at 430. IWM, eh? Da, da, da. IWM. Twitter's still refusing to go down. I don't know what to think about that there, Casey. Twitter looks kind of scary for shorting. I don't know what it's doing. It's like kind of wiping out people on both sides of the trade there. Uh, I would just say IWM is just ranging right now. Like this will probably go back up to 208 or maybe slightly lower, maybe like 202. I mean, it is in the bearish control zone. Yeah. The wheels will come off it eventually. It's just like a question of when they're going to fall off. The dude says, when Lambo? Oh, 0 DTE 197. Or will it be below 197 by the end of the day? Uh, that's a risky biscuit there, Casey. That's a risky biscuit case. Let's look at the moon indicator just to be sure. I mean, I know I know no one likes them, but there are bullish harmonics on it, so better have your finger hovering over the sell button there. Oh yeah, so when moon cycles. If this is what I have to do to get people to watch my YouTube channel is put moon cycles on, then so be it. Moon cycles, man, look at those moon cycles. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. Me and Flex here were just saying that if you went by the moon cycles, there should actually be like a little leg lower over the next few days. And that would kind of make sense. It would make sense on the IWM there. Because where would you end up? Well, you end up pretty much at the outer edge of the Bollinger Bands, and then maybe things could bounce up from there. It's nice having some people in chat. I should share. I gave up. I don't really want to trade today. Obviously, I think I told you, Casey, earlier. I think the markets are so choppy and nasty. I'd rather just hang out and stream for a few hours or a day or two. Even just plain shorting, I don't think is actually is a safe choice at this point. I mean, like look at Twitter. Twitter could honestly go either way. It could go either way. Like if the bull case would be like it holds above 46.14 there, and the Bears just can't if the Bears can't break 46.14, then I don't know. You might be just stuck in like a zombie trade. BRB, yeah, I've made more than 220%, but you need Casey. I do have options. I just haven't. I got it unlocked on I got it unlocked on Friday. I just haven't put money in there yet, which I will do. But yeah, I was just saying that like I don't think it's an easy market for bulls or bears right now because I don't think the kind of murderous downtrend that is potentially brewing has kicked in yet. And the bulls like haven't completely abandoned the game either. So it's like a lot of stuff is just ranging and looking really sleepy. It's just not a nice market to be in. Fusquizit. That's a nice word that you just made up there, D Harker. I like that. You mean Papa Elon isn't just going to buy Twitter to the moon? Well, you see there, um, Flex. The problem with that is that many retail traders have got burnt um, listening to Papa Elon or listening to any news around Papa Elon. I think even our high IQ pro gamer Casey here, he may have got a little bit burnt um, listening to Papa Elon on on Tesla. Yeah, yeah, you did. I know you did. I thought I had a bad week. You had a week that was way worse. Yeah, I know, and I know I should have taken the profits too, and I ended up giving them away and more. But so yeah, I don't know. It's a tough market. It's a tough market. There's Casey. There's a really good Twitter account which I'll drop in. I know we all want to believe in the meme lord. It's called Next Big Trade, and I absolutely love this Twitter account, and I keep seeing. I'll drop it in the chat here. I keep seeing he just takes like screenshots out of this book. It was that stage analysis book, I think. And every time I see a tweet from that guy, it's like, oh, that's I need to screenshot that and remember that. Um, well, there was a really good tweet. Oh, you do? Okay, sweet. Yeah, but there was one. There was two tweets in particular that I really um that kind of hit home for me. Um, la 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 la. What did he say? Mm, he said, no one could or should trade the market all the time. There were times when a trader should be out of the market, in cash, waiting. It was a quote from Jesse Livermore, aka the world's greatest stock trader. Yeah, Casey. No. I told you Chewy was doing something interesting on it. I said Chewy was like flashing and squeezing on like four different time frames all at once, and it was really weird. I'm keeping an eye on it. I am keeping an eye on it. I don't know what's up with it. Um, there is a little bit of positivity there on the 30 minute. the question is just like, where does Chewie go? Like, where does what's the bull case here? Like, what's the best case scenario? And it's like, are we realistically saying that Chewie is going to break 44 on the 4 hour chart? Because that's what it needed to do on Friday and failed to do, and it needed to be above that. And now it's got a candle body, close potentially just at, not on the midline of the Bollinger Band, which is not super duper either. So it's like, Cheerio, what are you doing? What's all this crazy squeezing and flashing about? Because you're not doing anything, but you keep flashing and you keep squeezing. So I don't know what's going on with Chewie. Something weird. Uh, it will become clear which way Chewie is going, but probably only on the 6 minute and probably only about 7 minutes before it actually happens. You know, it's a tough one. I wonder if there'd be like an oversold bounce on the cues. That would be interesting. Another very scary chart though. Look at that. It's on the cues here. Like, I mean, this is like the first bar of like truly negative momentum you've had since 2019. Pretty brutal. Nice, man. IWM. Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, if you're shorting it, then like I, I mean, there's probably a little bit further to go down. I mean, look at this horrible like Tombstone Doji. Oh, so that's on the 2 hour. Yeah. Okay. Well, there is a like a shooting star inverted hammer thing going on the or even a Tombstone Doji could be potentially on the IWM there. Ugh. But yeah, I really like that quote from that account. The next big trade. Don't feel you have to be 100% invested at all times. Differentiate between a September 1982 situation when the indicators and charts strongly suggested a fully invested position versus a September 1987 position when extreme caution was demanded. Very, very true. And is Twitter finally going to break down? Yeah, maybe there'll be like a Q's oversold bounce. That would be nice. PayPal's recovered pretty well from this morning.